One of the questions I get asked a lot actually is, how have you managed to stay relevant for so many years? For me, this has always been my profession, my career, not a get-rich-quick scheme. Fame is just a side effect of what I do. It's not something that defines who I am as a person or a business person. Hi there, I'm Connie Ferguson and welcome to my Forbes Woman Africa cover sheet. Connie is Lesedi and Alicia's mother. She's Shona Ferguson's wife. She's a daughter, she's a businesswoman, she's an actress. I was with Generations for 16 years, so basically from inception. I left not knowing what I was going to do, and then The Wild came up. Was on The Wild for 2 years, and then just went back for a short stint just to relaunch Generations when it became Generations The Legacy. And then left again after that. So if you look at it all in all, I think it was, let's say, 18 years. I had been with Garnier for 6 years. Yes. And I think that was the longest time that anybody locally had ever represented that brand. While I was with them, I had already started working on my body range. So I wanted to launch it simultaneously while I was still the face of Even and Matt. Yes. But whether I liked it or not, there was going to be like conflict of interest. As much as the brand that I was representing for Garnier was a facial brand and not a body brand, and I was starting with body products, the bigger picture was to eventually venture into everything, including facial products. So there was going to be conflict of interest. So I had to make that decision that, you know what, yes, it's a sacrifice, but I need to go it alone for now. Ownership has been the biggest difference. It's nice to be a face of a brand, and they you get a fee for representing the brand. But at the end of the day, your name is, yes, attached to the brand, and yes, it's a great brand, and it's great to be associated with, but there's no ownership. It's not really yours. They could fire you tomorrow. You still have your name, but there's no income from now a brand that your face is associated with, your name is associated with, because that association continues. It doesn't just stop there. So the difference has been with the Connie brand, that's my name. The money that comes in is building my empire and not somebody else's. So, and I take part in development. So there's ownership. There have definitely been challenges. The biggest one was finances. Because as a startup, yes, we were financed initially, but it was a very small amount, which we invested literally everything into development and manufacturing. Now there's more that one needs to do after that. You need to market the brand. You need to promote the brand. So promotions, marketing, all that needed extra money. To get the buy-in from locals was very challenging because there were brands that were already so established. It's like changing mindsets. Yes. You used to calling any body lotion that brand, like that name. It doesn't, you can't say body lotion. Yes. You call it by a name that you used to. So now educating people as well became part of the process. So, a lot of give and take. But I think we at a point where we're now growing steadily. Okay. We are starting to see returns. Now it's not just putting money into the business and not getting anything back. Yes. So it's starting to grow exponentially. The bigger picture and the plan is to build a multi-billion-dollar business. It's been done by international multinationals, and those products are doing very well in South Africa, so why can't a South African brand do the same? Our first production was Rockville. It was a 13-part drama series. It was the first ever drama series on Mzansi Magic, so there was a lot of pressure. We were first-time producers. Ferguson Forms and Connie multinational brands are very different companies. Ferguson Forms is an entertainment company, and how that works is, well, at the moment, the way we've been working now is we get commissioned productions. Looking at how a production company works, one wonders if that is sustainable as a business. And this actually begs the question why a lot of young black production companies don't make it. Because one, there are very few commissions, and two, it's more than just about telling stories and producing good drama and telenovelas, and it's about the business side of how does the company make money. Yeah. But before, just to get a loan was so hard. And how do you start a business without money? Yes. Just to get a house bond was so hard. And how do you start a business without money? I keep asking that question. Yeah. So when we started Ferguson Forms, we had a bond. So we had to take a second bond on our bond. I mean, that we had a vision, and we knew that because we didn't want to run a spaza shop. We wanted to run a business. We had to put money in to be able to get something out. And also because we wanted to be taken seriously as business people. So we took a second bond on our house. We set up offices in Northcliffe and slowly started operating from there. My husband had to leave work so that he can focus full time on the company, and I stayed with Generations for a little bit. And with my salary and the second bond that we had taken, so that kind of paid my husband's salary while he was pushing, because somebody has to be completely 100% committed to the business. Because otherwise, I don't think we would be where we are now. So those are the kind of sacrifices that one has to make. But at the same time, they have to be calculated. Because, I mean, we thought about it. I could have left work as well at the time. But then what? We have kids. We have a bond. We've just taken out a second bond. So there are risks involved. But I think, if you have a solid plan in place, you know that there are risks worth taking. So as a company, I think Ferguson Forms, we've grown, we have a very steady growth. Yes. And annually we're seeing a growth of between 15 and 20%, which is, I think, fantastic for a production company. I would tell my 16-year self that you'll be fine. You'll be okay, because I think I literally used to overthink everything. And I think it's also part of growing in a big family. Like, I was the third of 7 children, not having much when we grew up, and just the pressure of wanting to do well, so that you're able to empower your family, seeing your parents work so hard, and you wish you could just grow up and work and relieve them of all that hard work. I mean, that was always something that I wanted to do. So that kind of pressure for a 16-year-old was a lot, So I think I would just tell Connie back then that it's okay and you'll be fine.